Hello and welcome to the chaos and to the midweek bonus market breakdown video. So I'm just going to jump right into it. My name is Kristen. I am the owner and creator of Cheerful Chaos Crafts. I do crochet plushies, safety eyes, 3D printed things, just a variety of stuff. And I go to markets mostly, although I do have an online shop as well where I sell my goods. So I had a market this past week on Thursday, and it was a night market. It's one that I've done before. Last summer, I did all three of them. They do three of them over the course of the summer and into the fall. And they were all fairly decent markets, I would say, middling, fun markets. They're short, they're like 3 hours long. It's 5 to 8 p.m. in the evening, and it's up near my mom's house. So, and they're very low as far as the booth fee is concerned. So, for my part, they were more of a fun outlet to make a little extra money and not like what I would consider a huge market. So, the one this past week was the first one of this year. And same deal, same place, same setup, same cost, the whole bit. But it was actually, and I'll get into the total numbers here in a second, but it was actually like double the size of any of the markets that we did last year. The coordinator himself was shocked. He told me we had over 800 people come through, which is the most we've ever had. And it was the first market of the summer. So that one is always the slower one. So we'll see how it plays out with the later two because they're a little closer to Christmas time when people are thinking of gifts and things like that. And it's cooler out, so more people are willing to be outside. So I've got all my numbers here in my notebook. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So we're going to go through the breakdown first of the numbers, the things that sold, how much they sold for, that kind of thing. And then I've got a couple of fun stories from the market itself, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so here is what sold at the market. I sold a total of 30 items. A lot of them were the small ones. And in fact, I'll preface this by saying I only really took small items with me. I took my bag of $15 items, my bag of bag charms, which are also $15, and my bag of $25 items. And that was all I took. I did a very minimal setup. If you want to see what that looked like, I have a couple of clips from that in the previous video, the GalaxyCon prep number 4 from that showed up on Sunday, released on Sunday. So I do have a couple of clips in that weekly vlog of that market there, so you can kind of see how I set things up. It was very, very minimal, just a couple of tables and some baskets spread out. So here is what I sold. I'm going to go item by item and let you know what sold, and we can talk about what were the most popular items and that sort of thing afterward. So mushroom bag charms. I sold 3 of those. They're the popping mushroom by Cable and Canvas. I made them in Posh yarn and I hung them on little carabiner clips. They sold for $15 each, so that was $45 for those. My Olivia octopus pattern, I sold one of those at $25. The Little Critters penguin pattern from Poggy's Place, I sold 2 of those at $15 a piece. A strawberry duck, I've shown those in a previous blog. They were from a free Instagram that I then modded myself into looking like a strawberry. So it's like a rubber duck pattern that I made in red and gave a little leaf hat to and then embroidered strawberry seeds on. She sold for $25. I sold 3 of the Mabel chicken pattern by Oak and Marlowe for $15 a piece. That was $45 for Mabel chickens. I sold 2 small turtles. And this was this Tice the Turtle or Titus? This was Tice the Turtle by Old Soul Factory Crochet Co. One of them was made to look like a cherry pie, so it was one of my dessertals, and the other one was just in regular colors, like a solid color head and fins and a variegated color shell. Those I sold for $25 each. That was $50 in small turtles. I sold the yellow chick from Crochet by Jenna's new book for $25. I sold my Percy the opossum pattern for $25. I took 2 of those, I sold 1. Same with the octopus, I took 2 of those and sold 1. I sold 2 of my 3D printed pool noodle sword handles. I sold those for $10 a piece, so $20 there. I sold 1 of the Kirby car swings and 1 of the Totoro car swings. So those are 15 each, so $30 there. I sold 1 Little Critters pig from Poggy's Place for $15. I sold a Pokeball bag charm for $15. I think it was specifically the Great Ball one, and those were a pattern that I found on Instagram, but the original pattern had them another row of increases bigger than what my final was. They were just working up too big, so I made them smaller and then kind of freehanded some of the details to make them look like the individual Pokeball. So if I remember right, I think that was the Great Ball one that sold. I sold a shark bag charm, and that's the free little baby shark pattern from All from Jade. And that one was made in yellow with a white belly, so it looked like the baby shark, like from the song. So that was $15. I sold an Espeon bag charm for $15, and that is from a free Instagram pattern. Okay, so the Espeon bag charm was a free Instagram pattern that released near Christmas time this past Christmas, and it was meant to be a Christmas tree ornament. So it's basically like the head of the Pokemon and the ears and enough details to tell which one it is. So they come out, fairly, like about this big, fairly small. So a good size for a bag charm. I'll have to put in here the name of the creator so you can look that up if you want to. I sold a Sushi Cat bag charm for $15. That is the Annie Caraway Art mini loaf cat pattern. So she has 3 sizes. She has the original loaf cat, which she has as a PDF pattern and also as a tutorial on her YouTube channel. She has the kitten, which is sort of in the middle, and then she has the mini, which in Posh comes out to like this big. So perfect for a bag charm, and I made it as a sushi. Those were in a vlog from 2 weeks ago, I want to say. So $15 for that. Stardew Valley chicken in the mini size I sold for $15. That was using a free Instagram pattern from Loops and Knots Crochet, and I think she also has it as a tutorial on her YouTube. It was one of the ones that I was trying out to see, what pattern might work for a bag charm size Stardew Valley chicken, and it turned out bigger than I wanted it to. So I'm still working on that if I want to make those into bag charms or just stick with the big ones. I sold the watermelon Stegosaurus. What is the name of that designer? Oh, I can't remember. I'll put it in, but she has a lot of really cute free patterns on her Instagram. The Stegosaurus pattern in particular, she has the original like Stegosaurus, and then she has several different mods for turning it into fun food items like tacos, and this one was watermelon, obviously. I've had that one sitting in my booth for a while, and people pick it up and they laugh and they think it's cute, but he finally got a home, so he was 25. I sold a mini dino for 25. I remember which pattern was that. I can't remember now what pattern that was. It was a free Instagram pattern for sure. It may have been from the same designer that did the watermelon dino. I don't remember. I sold a Little Critters spider from Poggy's Place. They look like little jumping spiders. They're very cute for $15. Um, I sold a mini opossum, and I used Crochet by Jenna's possum from her pattern book. I believe she also has this pattern up separately on her website for $15. I sold a Little Critters unicorn, Poggy's Place again, for $15. And then the last thing was the loaf kitten. So the bag charm is in the mini size. This is the kitten size. So this is the medium size for $25. And I think it was I think it was the gray tabby color, which I used the Bernat Mystical in, shoot, what is the name of that color? Rose quartz or something like that. It's a mixture of neutrals is what it really is. It's like grays and tans and stuff. So I kind of consider it like a gray tabby for 25. So that was the total 30 items that I sold. So the total dollar amount of sales was $530, which is a good bit more than what I normally make at this market. So that was really cool. I spent $35 in taxes. And then my table fee for the night was $35. So take $70 away from 530 and you get 460. So 460 from that market, which is not bad. Now, do keep in mind that, that number covers paying me $20 an hour for each plushie that I made and paying back all of the materials. So if you're looking at straight profit, it's going to be a smaller number than that. But I'm not going to calculate that out because I already know that it covers those things, and that I'm happy with that. So that was the numbers breakdown from the market on Thursday. So the market itself, just to chit chat a little bit about that and how it went. Like I said, it is a night market. It is near my parents' house, so I like going to that one because I can get there a little bit early and hang out with them, which is exactly what I did this time. The market didn't start till 5, so I got to my parents' house at lunchtime. We had lunch together, just hung out and had a good time. And then I left at about 3 to go set up because that's the earliest that they allow you to set up your booth over there. And I like to be able to get a good spot. There's not a whole lot of space in the area where we set up. I don't think we can fit more than maybe 30 vendors at the most. I'm usually the only crochet plushie vendor. Sometimes there's another girl there who crochets mostly like kitchen stuff, washcloths and things like that. And she was there this time, and she had a few plushies, little ones that her sister had made out of acrylic. And I saw a few people wandering around with those, and they were really cute. Um, I think one of them had like a little shrimp, like just really cute little things. Her sister lives in Alaska, I think, and so she has a difficult time selling things up there and selling shipping from there is fairly expensive. So she sends things down to her sister here to sell for her markets here, and that arrangement works well for them. So she was there too. And all in all, the market's just kind of a fun time. They always have 3 or 4. They always have a few booths that sell drinks and some food trucks set up in the parking lot, and then they have a little section set up for kids to play. Live music is there usually, so it's just a fun time. Since it's a short market, the people who come generally stay for the entire time and just enjoy themselves, enjoy the festivities. They sit and they eat and they drink and they walk around and shop and enjoy the music. So it's just a really fun vibe, chill, very chill market. So some fun things at the market. Um, it was packed. Like I said, the coordinator said there were over 800 people that came through, so it was really, really packed. I really didn't sit down the whole time I was there. It was just busy, 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 busy the whole time. Um, there were a few instances of kids just kind of running around with less than optimal supervision. Um, I did not wind up getting anything damaged or, messed up too bad, but I did have a couple times where I had to kind of shoo parentless kids away from the tables because they were just wanting to touch and play with everything and tugging on the strings for the things that were on, keychains and whatnot. Um, the pool noodle lightsabers were very popular among the kids and not so much among the parents. Kids would run over and grab them and start beating each other over the heads with them, so I had to grab them back sometimes to keep them from ruining the pool noodles. But I did wind up selling 2 of them, so I brought 4, sold 2. So that worked out. And then there were a few instances of, people who were just super sweet. One girl came back multiple times looking through everything before she made her choice, but she was just it was one of those like, oh, it's all so cute. I don't know how to pick. And I think she wound up going away with the chicken. Um, I had one little girl who came up with her dad, and she couldn't have been more than 2. She was itty bitty. And he was picking up all kinds of things and showing them to her one at a time and saying, what about this? What about this? And she's, oh, and acting shy and hiding in his shirt. Um, and then she finally reached out for one of the miniature dragons that I have. Um, and those were Avalon Crochet's pattern. So she reached for one of those, so he bought her that, and then I saw her later just running across the green with the dragon, just flying it through the air and growling and roaring and everything, just having the best time, and that was just the cutest thing. It was so adorable. Um, there were a couple of younger teens that came by multiple times and kind of hit it off with one of my kids, and so they were there helping me, and so they went and wandered and had a good time at the market. So yeah, it wound up being a really good time, very fun, um, very successful market. So even though it's not one, it still wouldn't be one. I'm gonna adjust this camera a little bit, that I would consider to be like huge. Uh, $500 is nothing to sneeze at, but it's not one I would consider to be huge. But for what it is, for the fun that it is, for the um, short amount of time that we're there, the ease of setup, and just the overall, good feeling of it is one of my favorite markets. Um, and I will definitely be going back. I've already signed up for the, remaining 2 of this year, and I hope to continue being able to do them in years to come, and I hope it continues to be a popular event. Trying to think if there was anything else really kind of funny or interesting that stood out that I could tell you about. It was mostly just busy, but a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. So, um, yeah, so hopefully you've enjoyed this breakdown. And I will be releasing this tomorrow. Today is Tuesday, so this will be the midweek video um, tonight. So if you're seeing this video, it's already happened. I'm having a Palm Street live sale. It'll be my first one. I'm going to be basically keeping it chill. I'm going to be painting some safety eyes. I have some Etsy orders to work on, and then some smaller eyes that I'm just going to have fun with and chat on the live while I do that. And I've got all my listings posted so people can look and shop if they would like to while we're doing the live. Um, mm, that's all I can think of for this one. Yeah. So that's it for this one. And I will see y'all in the next video. So this is, like I said, coming out on Wednesday, and then I'll hopefully have another vlog for you on Sunday as we continue to get ready for GalaxyCon coming up in less than 6 weeks now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.